So, if you're currently in your personal development journey, there might be a concept called the wheel of life that you might have come across. So, a lot of times coaches start with this assessment. A lot of big coaches use this. Tony Robbins is one of them, but then many of the coaches are using it in the industry. And what it is, it's usually they can do a wheel or a pyramid, where but usually is a wheel where you have all the areas of life. So it could be social, careers, financial, spiritual, physical, intellectual, family. So you have all of these different areas of life, and you kind of assess where are you at today and where do you want to be, so you can close the gap to the dreams and things that you want to achieve in your life. Now, there is a big problem with the way that the wheel of life has been taught. And it's currently being taught by most people. And as I said, even the biggest gurus and coaches in the world. So, my name is Laura Mello. And over the last 15 years, as I said, I studied with many of these coaches, and I have um, worked through a lot of life challenges and things that I wanted to accomplish in order to create my dream life. So previously, as I said, this is the concept that the first coaching session usually you have with a life coach would be, you work on your real life and then you see where you're at to try to make a plan. Now, there is a big problem with this way. So let's say that you want to create a better body. You want to find a partner and you want to retire, or have financial freedom, for example. Let's say those are your goals. So the problem with this way that they're currently teaching in the personal development world is that they forget the most important part, and it's that in the middle there is something that needs to be in there in order to have the best chance not only of success but also of feeling in a way where usually when we want to accomplish the goals is because we think we're going to be happier, we're going to feel better, we're going to all the feelings that comes with that achievement of the goals. The problem is that most people are working systematically, analytically. I'm an engineer, so for me it was great. I'm like, yes, I have clarity here, I know where I want to go, I make a plan and I get there. The problem is that when I got there, my feelings did not match the reality of the dreams and things I've accomplished, because there is one crucial aspect that they forgot to mention. I don't know if you watch any of my previous videos. I am Catholic, used to be Catholic. Now I'm just call myself Christian, and I'm a new believer. So even though I've believed in God all my life, there has been a transition or something very important that happened for me 9 months ago, where I surrendered my life to Jesus and to God. And there was a clarity that came with that, where I realized the center of that wheel needs to be Jesus. So why do I say this? Because the problem is that what the world is telling us is, go and get all the things, like you look at Instagram, you look at Facebook, you look at people traveling with huge cars, houses, bodies, partners, children, whatever it might be, that your dream life looks like. And you might see other people having those things and you're like, oh my God, that looks so great. I wanna have that. But what we forget to realize is that there are so many challenges that also come with the accomplishment of our goals, and even once we have the goals. And so those can be very challenging journeys. Like, you want to find a partner, that sounds all great when you're single and you find it, but what you forget to see is that there is a lot of challenges that come when you find a partner, because it's two people with two different worldviews, coming together and adjusting. And so there is a lot of learning. There could be a lot of difficulties until things are resolved. And again, it's a lifelong process, where it's not only finding the person, but it's growing the relationship, and many others. And same with being a parent. So, I know for me, I since I was a baby, I always dreamed to have kids. I love children since very little, and it was difficult for me to find a partner, but once I did, and again, this is the kind of things that I work with coaches back then. it was like, great, I want to have children, I want to get married, I want all these things. But what I forgot to see is the challenges that come with being a mother, and there is so much to unfold there. We can be here forever. But what I'm trying to see is that financial, body, relationship, doesn't matter what your dreams and goals are. There is challenges that are gonna come across, either for you to achieve those goals or even after you achieve those goals. So the number one problem that I think the personal development industry is having when they're teaching these concepts is that they forget to put the most important thing, and in the middle it should really be a strong connection to God. Um, and why do I say that? And again, I am reading the Bible for the first time, and so this is I'm learning as I go, and I'm applying, I guess, all the concepts that I have over the last 15, almost 20 years of personal development work with how I know what I read in the Bible and the wisdom and the knowledge and how my life has transformed to not only now having my dream life, but also feeling the way I always thought I would feel when I accomplish my dreams and goals. And so, one of the verses that came up to me when I was thinking about this video and the wheel of life in particular, and what I wish that they would have told me back then is this one. It's Matthew 6:22. So it says, "The eyes is the lamp of the body. So if your eye is healthy, your whole body will be full of light. But if your eye is bad, your whole body will be full of darkness. If then the light in you is darkness, how great is darkness?" So, why do I read this verse? Because it's telling us the eye is the lamp of the body. The eyes are the lamp of the body. And so, what I was seeing through my eyes is what you see in Instagram, on Facebook, on the outside. Someone has this car. Oh, I would love to have this car. Someone has this body or this, travel or whatever might be my goal, or job or partner. I'm like, oh my god, I want that. And so I was, usually we most of us are seeing things on the outside of us, and we want all these things, and they become desires. So those are the eyes of how we see things, or what the world is telling us of how we'll be valuable or how we'll feel amazing. And the problem with this is that when you arrive there, those things might make you feel great for a few hours, for a week, for a few months, but then that's it. Then you go back into there is not enough, there is a hole, there is something missing. I'm still depressed, I'm still sad. I know for me, that's been my experience and the experience of so many people around. I've been with friends in the personal development industry that I that I can, that I either have met, that they were already part of the personal development industry, or that I brought with me. And there's been many growth and things that we've achieved, but the feeling inside has not changed that much. And so I really had to question myself, why, if we have this clarity of what we want and where we want to go, why are we feeling not the happiness and the joy and the peace and the freedom and the all the things that we thought that would come with the accomplishment of our goals. If this is what we're trying to achieve on a coaching call, for example, in a coaching session, you're paying sometimes thousands of dollars, hundreds of dollars with someone to help you in this journey, in this life journey, which is quite challenging. But the problem is that the eyes are the lamp of the body, and our eyes are not healthy. You know how it says here in Matthew 6:22, our eyes are not healthy when what we want is what the outside world is telling us. So why do I think it's crucial that at the middle, and usually even when you have it in pyramids, I've seen that they have like physical, as the biggest, most important part, because if you're healthy, if you don't have health, you don't have anything, then financial, professional, personal. And at the very top they have like contribution or spirituality. And I think that's such a mistake, because when it's kind of like I do everything, and then if I have time, and this is how most people, and I know this is for myself, this is how I've done it as well. When I was doing my wheel of life, I was focusing on the money, I was focusing on the relationships, on the job, on the finance, on the career. on the front social. I was focusing on everything, but spirituality was just on the back border, like something I'll get to it. And it wasn't until I really just almost achieved all of my dreams and goals, and I was still feeling sad and depressed, that I was like, wait a minute, there is something missing here. There is something very crucial and very important missing here. Why am I feeling this way? Even though my life, the reflection of my life and what I've created is everything I've ever wanted. And so for me, it got to the point of like, what do I believe? Like, who is my creator? And if you look at my previous video, this is one of the things that I talk about, where spirituality and really going through a process of like really analyzing myself, like, what do I believe? Is this because I think a lot of the times we follow into this mindset or this habit of just, and I guess you grow up and you don't think about this stuff. They tell you gotta graduate, you gotta go to university, or you gotta, you get married, you have buy a house, you have children, like all these steps of like how you're gonna be happy and successful. If you follow all of this, all of a sudden you're like, wait, like I'm just following. I'm not thinking like this is what I want, this is what I believe. I'm just following what the culture, what my environment, what my family have been telling me, until there's a moment where you wake up and you say, wait, am I going the direction that I want? And for me, it was having everything that I've ever wanted and still feeling sad and depressed and a big hole, and trying to understand why am I feeling this way, that got me to the point of really making spirituality. And again, I don't like this, and I don't really know what to call it yet, but I don't like the religion of spirituality, because it's not concise, it's not clear as to what needs to be in the center and what needs to happen. Like, still, it's kind of such a broad topic that is confusing. I know for me, growing as a Catholic, I'm like, yeah, I believe in God, but it's just, not something I thought about it much, unless I was a really big problem. I'm like, oh please God, But it was only when I didn't really have a relationship with him. It was something when I really felt like, oh my God, I need him. Like, I can't do this on my own. But I didn't really have a relationship. It's just I was brought up like this, and again, one of those things that you do without thinking and without questioning, and with this deep, deep understanding and love for him. So for me, getting caught up in the personal development world, it became, the universe, and you read the law of attraction and all this stuff, the way you think. And and the truth is that so many people around, and I've seen so many testimonies of millionaires and billionaires and people that have beyond their wildest dreams, and you see it in a lot of Hollywood stars, that they have everything. You're like, how can they've done that? And they've suicide and these terrible things when they have everything. And the truth is because God has not been at the center of this wheel of life, at center of their dreams, at the center, like the core, the rock, the foundation. This is why. And so for me, over the last 9 months, that I found this missing piece, that I so wish I think it's just like sometimes, we have to learn the hard way. And it's not until, like, sadly someone passes away, or we have a very strong disease, or like for me, having it all and then still feeling a certain way, where we go there. And so I wish we could just go there first and realize that this is the core of everything. Because if you do it with God, for me, not for me, Jesus, like Jesus is the way. And I was thinking about it last night, how we are in 2025, and there is a reason why this is BC, sorry, AC, after Christ. There is BC, 2025 BC, and AC, so after Christ. There is a reason, because he should be at the center of our lives. And I know a lot of people can say, oh yeah, I believe in God, or yes, the universe, or Allah, or whatever you want to call it. But the Bible is very clear that no one comes through the Father except through his Son, and his Son is Jesus. And so it's for those who believe in him and surrender their life to him, that we are going to be able to have healthy eyes, to be able to see not what the world is telling us, but to be able to see the truth. And actually, when he is at the center, then we're able to look at our relationships, our work, at our finances, our physical, like intellectual family. We're able to see it with the right lenses. And so then the result of that is not only the fulfillment of your goals, but it's the fulfillment of your goals with a whole different heart perspective, where there is joy, where there is peace, where there is freedom, where actually you realize that so far when I was doing it the way that I was doing before, and how most of people in the personal development world are doing it, is that because that they are focusing on the God of the self, on just on myself. What do I want my life to be, and my body, and my relationships, and this is the God of the self. So we have been taught in this world, sadly, that this is what we should focus on, and self-care, and me. And this is what I did for many years. And I just finished my vision board, which usually is kind of like, session 2 or 3 of a personal development, sort of a coaching session, with a life coach usually. This is mine. This is the second one I've ever done, but this time was very different. It's like, yes, I have all these dreams and goals and things, but there is so much I had no idea, of the, as I said, of the challenges and the things that and how it's going to feel, that at this time is like, I've done it, but I've done it and I handed over to him. And I said, you know what's best for me much more than I'll ever know for myself. Like right now, for 15, 20 years, I was following all the things that the world told me. And on the eyes of the world, I was successful. And she's traveling full time. She has, awesome husband. She has beautiful kids, the body, this, the money, like all the things on the external world. So if you look at, and that's what so many people in Instagram and Facebook and whatever are portraying this life of, like, luxuries, and like, I'm here in Dubai and I know this is, it's the place of bling bling and the car and all the things, the material. But how are they feeling on the inside? And if you really look deep, most people are really struggling. They either feel not worth it, or they feel lonely at the end of the day, and that's not the way we should feel. Like, we are sons of daughters of God, made on his image. And so if we have, like, this deep understanding of who we are, and it's not who we are based on, all these personality styles, and all these tests and all this stuff. I'm an introvert, I'm an extrovert, I'm this. No, this is I don't want to call it vain. I don't know what the best word for it is, but this is so focused on the self, and this is, it really blinds the truth. And that's why I thought this verse was so important for today's video. The eye is the lamp of the body. So if your eye is healthy, your whole body will be full of light. But if your eye is bad, your whole body will be full of light, darkness. If then the light in you is darkness, how great is darkness? So you can show all the shine and all the beauty on the outside, but on the inside, the feelings won't match. And so my lesson has been, he has to be at the center. With him at the center, then there is this joy and this peace, this freedom. But most importantly, you start putting the right lenses on, where your lenses are clear. You see clear. You see who you are, what you're born for, like what are you made for. But through his eyes. And it's no longer, my life is no longer just about me, and what do I want to have, and what do I want to feel, and what do I want to do. My life is on his hands, and my life is, how can I glorify you? How can I mean, he starts filling you up in a way. It was like, how can I help others? How can I serve your children? Like, how can I be more like you? How can I, you know just surrender? You just surrender, and with that surrendering, there is a rock that no matter what the challenges that you go through, there is this peace and this freedom and this joy that comes, that has, that, to be honest, then all of a sudden I'm like, I look at all the things, the new things that I want to achieve and do, and they just become so, it's not worthless, but insignificant in the midst of this feeling that I already have. And so for me, I just wish that I was taught the wheel of life through this eyes, or through this way, and not put him at the very top, once you've done this big to-do list of your life, maybe when you're about to, on your deathbed, or you just, had a cancer or a disease, or someone passed away in the family that make you realize that. But actually, as the priority, as the rock, as the foundation, as I said in my previous video, I'm a civil engineer. And how are you going to build this big, amazing, incredible structure like Burj Khalifa or any amazing building in the world, when you have the foundation is sand? Like, you really need very strong, deep foundations. And this is what he gives you when you surrender your life to him. This is what he gives you. There are foundations that are unshakable, that no matter what happens in your life, your joy, your peace doesn't depend, on your partner, on your children, on your family, on the money that you have, on the things that you achieve. It's only because he's in you, and you have this deep connection that you nurture every single day, and that you know that no matter what, he's taking care of you. And that doesn't mean you don't go and do all the things, and you plan and you learn, strategies and wisdom to apply to help you get where you want to go, but you have the right lenses on. And yeah, this is something I wish I knew before, when I was applying this concept through the coaches that I was working with. And actually, after, for some time, I was teaching this to others. And yeah, as I said, I would love for people to know this very important concept of put him in the middle. And again, how does that look like? um, Surrender your life to Jesus. Just say, you are the Son of God who came to earth as the flesh, and you came here to die for us and take the sins. And I believe in you, and I surrender my life to you, and I want you to be the Lord of my life. Because the problem is that right now, and people think, what are you talking about? Like, no one controls me, I'm in control. And they have this false belief that they are in control, and that, and the problem is that it's not. Fear is controlling them, money is controlling them, scarcity is controlling them. And we can call it so many things, but really at the bottom of that, and again, if you told me that 9 months ago, when I found Jesus, and I really had to realize, what do I believe, and I just had this deep connection and spiritual experience with him, to really understand that at the bottom of that is Satan, is evil, is the bad. And this is who most people, I know, this is what who my master was. Because that's why, even though on the outside I was achieving all the things, on the inside I was broken, and I was fearful, and I was sad, and I was lonely, and I was something very, very big missing. And now is the opposite. I'm like, take everything away from me, and I will still have him. And that just gives me so much peace, and of just so much freedom. So then I'm not asking from the world, like a needy girl or needy person, like, what can I get from people, when I'm in this interaction, what can I get, what can I learn, what can I take, is more like, how can I give, how can I share him with the world, like, how can I, yeah. So I just wish everyone like, will. I think that the biggest problem is that we've been brought up either in religion, or really negative way of seeing him, and he has not been portrayed on the right way. I know for me, with the Catholic faith was very like, and they're still Christians, but it was very much so, you behave and you're good, otherwise you go to hell. And it's not like that. This is just so far from the truth. He's such a loving father that is just waiting for us to surrender our life to him and to hug us and embrace us and love us and to show us how much he cares, how much he can fill us up without all the things, even before we have all the things. And that doesn't mean we don't go after the things, and that doesn't mean he won't give us the things, but it means you have the feelings before you even achieve the things. And so, yeah, life is so good now. Again, not only on the outside, but most importantly on the inside. And I just hope that everyone has this feeling, and that if you're about to do your first wheel of life or your 10th wheel of life, that you do it this way. Because again, it took me 15, 20 years to of a lot of challenges, almost in my 40s. And I know I started these in my early 20s. $150,000 later, and so much time and money, energy wasted. Wasn't wasted, because there was so much lessons and stuff through it, but it would have been so much easier in the journey if I had a deep connection with him first. So search for him, open the Bible, surrender to him. If you have someone, some a Christian person next to you, or that or just go to a church and you as a pastor. I know for me, I'm trying to surrender myself with people of faith and that they've been in this journey for much longer than I am, because I'm new to reading the Bible, I'm new to this, but I'm so hungry for it. Because once you experience it, and it's no longer this thing that someone else taught you, and you were brought up in this family that says, yes, yes, I believe in God, but there is no really connection, there's no fruits from that. It's meaningless. But when you really have an experience, and you realize it's a living God, it's not someone that was here 2000 years ago and came to save us. It's no longer like that. It's real. Like, you've experienced it. Once you experience it, there is no turning back. And I just my prayer today is that you experience it in your life, so you can then go out and have this drive, this passion, this desire, not for yourself and to master all the things for the God self, but for him, so then you can serve the world as well and do it with peace and joy. So anyway, this is my take on the wheel of life. If you're gonna do it, put him at the center, and you're just gonna see a whole different perspective and new lenses and new clarity and joy even before you achieve your dreams and goals. So Lori Mello here, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.